Thanks for tuning in to another episode of All Things Entrepreneur. We are a group of entrepreneurs who all got our start in real estate wholesaling and parlayed that success into multi-million-dollar business. It's your girl, it's Jessica Myers, the deal maker.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Mo Hustle, the she builder.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, it's the Grand Guy, the influencer.
I am Superstar Shauna with
DC John.
And together we are Flippin' Love.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Errol J. Allen.
It's time to get ate.
All things entrepreneur. It gets tough, but you gotta stick to it.
Happy birthday, sorry. Yeah, got the grind guy. Got the new kid on the block. How y'all feeling today?
Less than highly favored.
Amazing, yeah. Well, you know, a lot of times in real estate, you know, we all got our start as wholesalers. You know, we told the story in the first episode of how we all got started. And a lot of people often ask us, can I pick your brain?
You can pick a payment method.
Cheers to that. So what is something that you guys feel is the first thing to come to mind? He said payment method. But how does that feel when people ask to pick your brain knowing how long it took to get here?
I used to just enjoy the free lunches and dinners, so I was like, can I pick your brain? I'll take you out to eat. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm about to go to my favorite restaurant. Yeah. So I used to do that.
That was before me, right?
That was before you. No, that was before. But then at one point it started getting kind of weird. But it was cool if we can swap something. If we could swap something, then I'm with it.
Mm-hmm. So I always say, if you're adding value, I don't mind helping. But create some type of value. Don't waste my time. As long as you added value, I'm good. If you could come in and, you know, we had a couple people on the team bring cameras, just different things that they added to add that value. And, you know, that's long term. That's appreciated, but it has to be that value added.
It gets real played out real quick when I hear pick my brain. I go like tune out when I hear can I pick your brain. So you gotta be unique in your approach on how you're gonna like get whatever you're trying to get out of the person. So like I had one of my coaching students like give me a postcard to my house congratulating me on my most recent refinance on one of my projects, took down my Instagram photos, and then said, what are your thoughts on what would you need for your go-to home inspector? Very cool. I mean, that presentation was so amazing. I called him up me, I'm like, yo, you're my next home inspector. Like, raps.
Yeah. Got the job.
You gotta be unique in your approach.
Yeah, see? That value added. And they did extra work to get that.
Flawless.
So they gotta stand out. Something that makes you like, hey, okay, this dude's, you know, or this lady.
I was actually reading 48 Laws of Power, and one of the laws actually spoke to there's no such thing as a free lunch. Because I too used to be like, I'll take the lunch, but then I realized like if you sit in a room with me, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be done told you everything, all the secrets to the trade, and I realized I need to protect my energy.
Exactly.
Because if I don't protect my energy, I know you getting in my presence, I'm gonna want to tell you everything because I'm just a natural giver. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have to start setting, okay, you're asking to pick my brain, but I actually need to pick yours. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? First, to understand if it's worth getting that close to me to start picking my brain, because I'll lay out a whole. I'm a solutions-oriented person, and so I'll lay out the whole rubric for free.
You know, another thing to that is just like, you know, lunches, you know, whatever. Over time, it starts to become redundant. And it's just like, okay, I'm meeting with all these people, but what's the end result? So are the lunches worth your time?
You can only have lunch so many times in a day.
Exactly.
That's when you go to dinner.
Lunch, dinner, you can only have so many meals in a day. You just like...
Nah, but it gets to the point to when it's just like, okay, because it's so many professional meeting goers, you know, so you're going to every meetup that there's. You're going to every meeting that there is. You got 18 composition notebooks with all these notes from January 1st and today is December 1st. And you're at every meeting. Can I get your business card? Can I get your business card? Oh, you inspired me. Oh my gosh, the grind guy, can I do your pose? Yeah. You know? Oh, freaking love, you guys are so cute. You know, like, and then they go home and what do?
Nothing. Then you go to significant other, and then what? You keep telling them that same thing over and over and over again. What happens with that? Like now, you got somebody that's in your circle, in your space, that's doubting what you're doing. Now what happens with that?
Baby,
Like,
you need to go get a job.
Yeah,
Like,
see?
you know.
It
But
changes
it
your
just
whole mindset.
kills it.
It changes your whole mindset. It kills your momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, because my thing, I get too emotionally invested in the person I'm sharing the information with, because I'm like, oh, all right, I'm about to lay this whole thing out.
Right.
Like, you give me a problem, I'm gonna give you the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then when you don't do it, it's like,
What you doing?
what the hell? I just made you a millionaire.
Right,
I just laid it out
right.
for you. So, go ahead. Yeah. I was gonna say, interesting thing. I was listening to one of Kevin Hart's episodes, and he was talking about how he has a barrier of people. Like, he only deals with the same 5 people on a day in, day out basis, and those 5 people, like, if you wanna, if he was ever to ask him to pick your brain, he'd be like, yeah, let me send you off to this dude. Are you guys eventually, as you go throughout your journeys, gonna eventually have gatekeepers to where it's like, yo, you gotta go through him first before you can like talk to me?
I think it's safe for your mind, body, and soul to have gatekeepers, because people just gonna keep coming at you and you're gonna keep spilling out all this energy, and you gotta do. At the end of the day, we all are leveling up. We all came from wholesaling, and everybody's doing something different. So imagine in about 2 more years, or even a year, where we're gonna be at then. You can't have that many people coming up to you like that. Like, you gotta
Protect your space.
Like,
Yeah, another space from now. Like, we be talking about like, I'm at Sienna Shauna's house. If you want to come meet me over here.
Yeah. Sharing location.
I'm in the basement. Come over here. The back door on the side. Yeah, meet me there.
But I'm changing it up now, where you have to essentially apply to work with me, because what was happening is I was doing 15-minute free consultations. Because even when I hit up my girl, I needed her advice. She sent me that good Calendly link with the good payment. Like, hey, sure, I'd love to help you. Here's my payment. Book a time. Let me know. And that taught me to respect her. Like, you know, because it's not just coming to her. It's like, okay, and then too, my conversation needs to be succinct. And I need to hurry up and get to the point. Because sometimes people will come, pick your brain, and really they just want to throw up what they got going. And I'm like, well, if you got it together, then why are you...
Oh, I hate when they do
calling
that.
me?
Oh, don't tell me how to do. What? Have you been through a crash? Do you even know? Like, everybody's good right now. What happens when everything flatlines?
that's what we're waiting for. I'm excited.
I know.
No. Some people are, but not everybody know. Like wholesaling is not gonna be like forever. Like, you got to tap into other parts of the business and step outside of the business to fund other businesses.
Because the people that were successful when the market crashed,
Yeah.
I think it was Grant Cardone, and he was saying like they had so many rental properties. Was it? It was somebody, but they were just saying like, you know, their phones were blowing up because so many people needed places to stay. So now guess what? Yeah, people are losing their homes, but the demand for rentals is through the roof right now.
Yeah.
So if you had inventory,
If you got rental property,
you're okay.
they're charging more now to rent because people can't buy homes.
Supply and demand.
So now you were paying $1,500, they're charging $2,000.
Right.
This is I got
And that's
landlord
inflation.
partners they're like, look. So
I like your concept with the, you know, I'm charging you good counter link and all that stuff, because what I've come to see is a lot of people, when you send them that invoice and that link, it filters out a lot of the noise. Because there's so many people like, oh, I just want to take you to lunch because that's $30. But if you charge $100 for a 30-minute consultation, you're going to be like, you know, I don't think what I had to say was that important. After all, it's not worth the $100 investment.
Facts.
So now, if you didn't have that barrier set up in the first place, what would happen?
Yeah.
You'd be getting vomited on. You'd be like,
Yeah, set up the barrier right
I was thinking the same thing.
No, honestly, let me tell you, just to be completely honest, I've just gotten over being, I don't know how this is going to come out.
I'll say it.
I used to be annoyed or irritated with people. And I'm a real big people's person. Nobody would ever really think that. But people, it's because something like what you said, I will pour my heart out into giving you like the plan. All I wanted in the beginning before I met Sion was a team. Because like I didn't have y'all. Like I didn't know. I wasn't in the black world of like what y'all, you know, the group y'all was in. I was in Atlanta Ria. Like it was different. And it wasn't that many of me in there. So it was, all I wanted to build was my team. So I would reach out to my friends. People were like, oh, Sean, I see you doing this, I see you doing that. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what you do. I wrote out, I have a PowerPoint presentation still in my, like every step to do everything. I even started up my own mentorship group, and I had them paying me $200 a month. These people never did nothing. And I'm like, how can you not? I'm giving you everything. So I kind of like just started getting irritated with people. I'm like, you're not gonna really do nothing. I would see people, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They don't do nothing. Then they asking for stuff. I like, oh, I see you doing this. Yeah, I did this because I did that. Like, this is how you build. And I just stopped doing it. I stopped taking. I'm like, yeah. I just laugh it off.
People who don't, people who pay attention.
Yeah.
So I was actually having this conversation last night with one of my builder friends, and we was talking about how he put together his own business course on how to build and flip businesses, and he was able to give it out to people for free. He's like, I'm having a free workshop on how to do this. He's made millions doing it. No one showed up. He's charging $8,000, and he's sold out. Exact same information.
Yeah.
Right. So let me add to that. People who pay enough pay attention.
You're right. You're
Like
right.
you said,
Everybody didn't pay. Everybody paid $25.
I used to always say, why not pay attention because it's free. If you pay attention,
See, we different.
exactly.
Because I'm going to go to the class. I'm going to be like, all right, that's how I was in the class. I listened to everything. I took down notes, and I started doing it. And it took me 6 months, but I was doing it. But I did stuff for free until I had to pay for something. But it was different for us, I guess.
And then you never can stop. Like, there's nothing wrong with educating yourself. You have to pay to educate. I can't tell you how much money I spent on paying to educate myself, to better myself. Like, if I don't know something, I need to go take a class to know it. Like, we need to get better. We need to do this. We need to do that. So you gotta invest in yourself. And if you're upset about paying $100 or $150 to sit next to somebody or sit in a lunch or whatever for an hour, like, it was that before. And this is what I get mad at. There's no excuse. You have social media. You have YouTube. You have the internet. When I got started, there was none of that. Like, for me to sit down with an investor,
It seems
it's okay.
A life without internet.
No, I'm just saying. Like, when I got started, that's what it was. And it was very lonely. Like, the only people that will help you is when you pay. And it was $5,000 for a lunch.
So let me ask.
Not $120,000, $5,000 to sit down for lunch for an hour, and that individual's gonna
where'd
be
you
on
go
their
eat
phone.
at?
Oh, I never went. So what is that one of the lot? Okay. The question is,
University.
So what was the most, everybody, what was the most you spent on an investment in yourself for your business? Doesn't have to be just strictly like real estate or anything.
See, I'm very
And let me rephrase that. What was the most you invested?
Yeah,
Invested
there you go.
in yourself.
so I do a lot of research. So I don't think I spent more than $1,000, but within that meetings of let's say I've done maybe 10 payments of a few $100s here and there. I am a keyword king. So like I will write down every keyword, then go back home and Google the hell out of it, watch videos and so forth, and then I'll pay another few $100s again just so it now has sense to it, So I heard it the first time, I hear it again, and now I have questions that I can add experiences to it now. So I've never paid tens or $20,000. I would charge that. So it's funny you say that because you get that, buddy? You get it?
Yeah, I'm only saying because it's pre-internet. And it was very slow when I started. 5,000.
Oh,
So-
nice. Okay.
Go ahead.
I personally
You
believe
dropped
like
5,000.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, okay.
so I will never charge more than what I've invested in myself at one given point in time. So I actually dropped $10,000 in the mastermind, and it was well worth the money. So my services, like one-on-one coaching, all that, is not going to exceed $10,000 because that's what I was going to do for myself. So I can ask that. to somebody else.
Just because I know you're more worth than that, I'm doing a course right now. It's $100,000. So feel free to join my course.
Do you do payment plans? I gotta see what the itinerary is. I gotta see all that.
How do we work within to become a part of the 100? Like, can we become partners?
Of course.
See, but you see that you gotta speak. You gotta, if you're not asking questions or positioning yourself to get next to the money, that's what you gotta do. You gotta talk.
And you got to create the narrative. You can charge whatever you really want to charge because honestly, what we know is millions and billions of dollars of knowledge. So it really depends on how you feel comfortable. Like honestly, I'm with Sion. I'm a Google University going. Even when I had my mentor, I found a way to work it around where I can bring you more. I know how to bring people in. I wasn't paying no fee. I was bringing him more students, and that was my fee. Then I started getting paid a percentage. How the mentee go start? I was getting paid from other mentees. I'm boosting them to make. I made my way because I didn't want to. Hey, that's just me. That's just. I just want.
But you found a way. Because it's almost like the price is for you, not them, really. Because like you said, because the $20,000 I paid for the education is what made. Well, it was supposed to be half. I don't think I finished the story. It was supposed to. I think we digress. So they actually.
Flake on you?
Yeah.
What was this? The glass is still full though.
Because, and you know what? Because what wound up happening is that at the time, like I said, I went out to go find the extra money, so I found the full amount. But I was saying, cool, sharing it with someone would help lighten that load. Right. But unfortunately, they didn't have it at the time. So it was like, cool, I'm going to wholesale a few deals, I'll pay you back. Here again, not being tied to the money, I'm the one who put up the 20 grand, right? So not being tied to the money, they weren't tied to the results. And pretty soon, like the next week or two, they were going on doing something else. So it's almost like the money is what kept me tied. People was like, what kept you going? Was the education worth $20,000? But me having to come up with $20,000 and put it on myself, I was like, I can't stop.
So you basically bet on yourself.
Yeah. So really the money, and people think it's affordability. Like I said, if I could tell it, if you got in the car with me the first 2 years, you learned the whole game for free. So it's just like, it's not about the money, but it's who you get to become when you now have. For me, getting that $20,000 is the same person who had to get the $8.3 million for the hotel. So it's that hustle that you build.
And don't think like, just because those people that have reached a certain point to be able to charge their fee for you to sit down with them. It's not because they want to or have to or whatever it may be. It's because thousands before you have milked it. And out of that 1,000, maybe 999 have done nothing. Right. So it's like, all right, if I'm going to waste my time 999 times an hour, I'm going to get paid for that. Right. Because obviously my words and my experiences are valuable. So, we have to grow that personal development within ourselves to one, even have the courage to know that we have the insight to be able to influence and build people up and say, okay, now I can charge you. Because now it's not an insult to you asking. We have to grow the courage to be able to say,
I'm valuable. I'm
worth that.
And make sure you vet these mentors and these people that you're paying the money to. Make sure you vet them. Make sure you're making sure that they actually are doing the business currently and not past tense. Right. That's a big
gem.
A
lot of people, it's a hustle for them.
Yeah, it is.
They always be qualified. That's what I said. What's the most you invested?
I'm like Sion and Shauna both. Okay. I was always just like very strategic. So I invested in memberships, right? Yeah. So I would, if I know that I get access to all the contracts and like all the tools that I'll need to do this business, if I keep going, like on my off days, I will call, hop in the car with somebody. I saw you on almost every off day. I saw you on most off days in the field. Linked up with you in the field often on my off days too. So what did I do? I say, okay. They all would tell me, hey, bring me the deal. I got buyers. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go invest in bandit signs. I'm going to go get business cards. I'm going to go get the hammer, the nail thing. I'm going to put some gas in my car, and I'm going to get out in the field. And I targeted, and I got out, and I put up signs. I got a contract, and what did I do? But when I went to these meetings, I targeted who I wanted to do business with, right? I closed my first deal, my first real deal, not the one at Starbucks under the table, but when I actually went to a closing attorney's office and went through the transaction of closing, with Will Galloway and Tim Harvey, Wholesalers Are Us. Yep, Will bought my first property. So they were actually going to sell it to an end buyer, but Will decided that he wanted to keep it. And that deal took me 11 months total. It was a probate deal. It took me 11 months total to work. So, but what I did, I put in the work. And that's why they be like, dang. And that's where the name Mo Hustle came from.
Yeah.
I didn't give it to myself. They be like, dang, like Mo Hustle. Man, that girl, she be out there. And literally, like, I wasn't hounding people. So if I did take some of your time, I was adding tremendous value. I was bringing something to the table. Right. But everybody saw how hungry I was. Mm-hmm. You know, so you got to show. You got to show up and show out.
So if we have the results and the proof is in the pudding from what we do, why is it you think people understand what we do, we lay it out, here's the entryway, and then they don't perform it? But it's like they want
people get their own way.
Let me be honest with you. It's not in everybody. Like that shirt you have on, it's not on you, it's in you.
Right.
Right?
So people get in their own way, though.
But it's just not
make
in some
excuses
people.
of like why you can't do it. Why can't I do this?
They're not built for it.
They just want it to be given to them.
Right. If microwave success. If you say drop for dollars, if you say drop for dollars, how many? If I say drop for dollars, I'm gonna bring back 1,000 leads.
They're not built for it. You're right.
That's the thing.
If I say drop for dollars, I say bring back 1,000 leads. You only bring back 100. Like she said, you're not built for it. You're not willing to put in the work.
It's people that I know that have drove for dollars and got hundreds and hundreds of leads over a course of like a weekend, and they come back home. They never stop to get trades. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people will get it skip trades. They will never make a phone call.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I even told them about Mojo Dollar, Dollar, all these dollar systems. They would never make a phone call. It's people that will make a phone call and will never follow up with the people. It's people that just won't do it.
Let me tell you what I used to do.
Let
me tell you what I used to do on my lunch breaks. I used to work about 55 hours a week.
But talk to them on lunch break. Y'all listening? This is for people that work 9 to 5. She's on lunch.
I used to work
on lunch break.
I used to work 55 to 60 hours a week, a management position, so you have responsibilities, right? Mm-hmm. On my lunch break, I was bringing my lunch. I was cold calling. Mm-hmm. On my lunch break, I was cold calling. Don't bother me.
You know. Dollar. You was right. You know, dollar. You was dollar.
And I was dialing manually.
My fingers used to be numb.
Yeah, I was literally manually dialing on my lunch break, right? On my way home, if I got off of work at 7, if I had to close, I get off work at 7. On my way home, I'm driving for dollars. I might not get home until 8, 9 o'clock, right? But then I'm getting up and having to be to work at 7 a.m. and do it all over. I was doing this every day. On my off day, I remember I called somebody and I was like, it was 7 a.m. I was like, hey, where are you going to be at today? They're like, Mo, I'm not up yet. Oh, okay, well, what time are you going to be out in the field? Like 9. Okay, I'll call you at 9 o'clock. Hey, are you in the field? Where you at? I'm going to text you the address in a minute, right? But that's persistence. Right. Dedication, motivation, all that stuff. But those are the things that you have to do. Yes. You can't say that you want it, but you don't want to put in the work.
You know what's crazy? Everything you just said.
So all those people keep your jobs.
It's so much work that you just put into what you're saying, but now you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to actually make the phone calls or actually go drive for dollars. You can hire a VA now. You can buy your own leads. You can pay to get a skip trace, to have a VA do it, to set it all up for you. And it's people that will learn all that, will give it all to them, and they still won't do that. Yeah. Where you can work a 9 to 5 and have somebody else at a very affordable rate calling the leads for you, like doing everything for you. All you gotta do is.
That was a lot of gym.
So whether
super gym.
But you know what? That's being strategic. And the thing is, whether you spend $10,000 or $1,000 or less, your time, all of that, get a return on your investment. That's the thing. As long as you get a return on your investment, you've done well.
So is that what it is? When someone comes to pick your brain, you don't see the return or on an investment, especially if they don't take action.
Right. Yeah. My return on investment is your success.
Right.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you.
You really want to see them win.
Real yes. Because like I used to just share the knowledge with my skip traces. So I used to drive around neighborhoods all the time, and then I would form a list, and then I think you were there at the time. I would open up my garage.
Yeah, we were there. We cold called in the garage, at the table.
Like, yo, come through, let's rock out. I mean, and your success, is my success. I feel good about that because at the end of the day, I know you're not gonna stay under my umbrella forever. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, because when I see you at the top, yo, what up? Yeah. I promise you're gonna give me a deal. I'm gonna give you a deal later on. It's just that relationship is there. But if you've never done anything, like I just wasted my time. Like there's no future in what we're doing together to build together.
And I love what he said because everybody on my team that I've physically put time in and train has closed a deal. So that's life changing. So from 15,000 to 30,000, whatever you made, everybody closed a deal.
And that's why I want to make it harder to get
something. No, I'm just like.
But that's why I want to make it harder. It's almost like making it harder or more barrier of entry to get in to speak with us and connect with us. What?
100, my bad.
Yeah, what?
No, never mind.
100 plus.
Yeah, we being filmed. Don't worry about it.
Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
After hours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, mine's empty. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But one of the things is like making it harder to get to you is that you want to deal with a different quality of person. Like, damn, if you came over all these hurdles, that's what I mean. Like, the money ain't for me. Like, even though I'll take it, and it helps with my bottom line. But the money is really not for me. It's who you become that it makes it like, okay, that's my. I see the hustle I had.
Yes.
I didn't have $20,000 and I went to go find it. I see that same hustle.
And it's every time you go to the closing table with the person, it's like you closing all over it. Like you said, the first time, like the very first closing. Yeah. Yo, I was almost in tears on some people closing. I was like, yo, this. And then some people closing where we thought it wasn't going to close. You know, I had a guy, I said, we walked into the closing attorney's office. I was like, ain't no earnest money. We ain't closing. What you mean we ain't closing? Shout out to my guy CP. But, that was, to him, it was like, how do you get this far and we not closing? Like, we at the table. And now a lot of people understand what happens with that.
So, a question, and I think I already shared mine, but what would you guys say would be the most, someone who, like, went above and beyond in terms of, like, hey, I want to, quote-unquote, pick your brain, and they got to that point, but they succeeded and did all the things. Like, what was, like, something they did where they was like, oh, that's different. Like, it struck me, and you was like, all right, I'm going to open my services to you, and then they succeeded. Like, they...
Yep. Shout out to Charlie Parks. First of all...
Visions by Legit.
Vision by Legit. But first, it was Contrell. He literally...
he said, I'm going to outgrind the grind.
No, but at first, to get to me, he like literally like was on my gram like John, like John, like I kept telling him I was busy. He was like, but John, I'm like I'm busy. He was like, but John, he was like, yo, I'm gonna pull up on you today. Where y'all at? And me and Mo Hustle just happened to be on Metropolitan. Him and Danny pulled up, and they closed on their first deal in 30 days.
Wow.
And then it was Charlie. Charlie came. That's Trail's boy. He was like, I just want to add value with my camera. He started adding value, so that's where y'all start seeing the content come from. He flipped through a window in his first deal. Climbed through a window, fell through, rolled up, dropped and rolled. But it added value. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it came. Carlos, he came in, he was like, yo, I got 2 deals. I was like, we're going to close it. Boom. Mo Hustle, same thing. But they had to, but like Errol was saying, what did they do? They did everything. Yeah. They had the work, they had the mindset. It was just in them, what did I need to, how can you direct me to where to go?
Yeah. I actually created business partnerships with a lot of people that came with them. Cool. Okay, Greg. Okay, now we're partners.
Right.
And then cool. Kia. Now we're partners.
This is what you do.
Like you draw them in because it's like that same hustle to get you to your first deal. Let's keep grinding.
Exactly.
What else can
Don't
we build?
stop.
Yeah.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't stop doing exactly what was told. Yeah. You close a deal. How do you close more deals? Just consistently going with what was told. So why would you change anything?
Multiply. So my answer to your question is the opposite of theirs. Nobody.
Hold on, say that again.
Nobody outperformed and like.
No, and the reason I'm saying nobody, and shout out to my mom. My mom told me a long time ago because you said previously, I think on the previous episode, Jess, that something about being just like a naturally giving person, right? I've given so much of myself to so many people, so many situations and things like that, and then when it's time for me to focus on me for a change, because like a lot of people that know me know like I was pursuing artist management for the longest, like music. You couldn't tell me that we weren't gonna make it. I had the dopest talent, like I invested so much that I saw zero return. And it's nothing against, like, I love everybody that I work with to death, but I was pouring everything into that. And if I would have been pouring, when John came and told me about real estate, if I was investing that time and money into myself back then, I was doing music back then. So if I was doing that then, where would I be today? And my mom used to always tell me, like, oh, you always do so much for everybody else. There comes a time where you have to be selfishly focused on you.
Ooh, that's, hey, listen.
And I'm just now, and that's why, you know what, as parents, and see, you know, some of you guys are parents, some things that you instill in your kids, you don't think that is actually sticking with them, but it sticks, you know. And my mom, she'd been telling me that for years. And today I'm actually doing it. You know what I mean? So, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm doing what you've been telling me to do all this time. So when people come, so when people come, because I'm so tunnel vision on getting these new constructions off the ground, you know, we got this podcast getting this off the ground. I got other things getting off the ground, but these are things that I'm going to be able to really position myself. And if I ever do have kids, you know, leave a legacy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I can't. And for me, it's not even about the money. I don't care if you want to pay me. I can't. It's not worth my time.
Okay. So I got a great 180 question I'm going to ask, but do you guys have any answers?
Well, same as hers, nobody. I feel like I have been the epitome of what should have been the reverse of the question. You know, so my mentor, I used to call him 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "Dog, I'm not up yet." I'm like, "So when you getting up?" I'll be up soon. I'll call him at soon o'clock. Like, hey, man,
It's soon o'clock.
It's
soon o'clock. That's gonna be a name. It's soon o'clock.
It's soon o'clock now. It's soon o'clock. Up there, he's like, "I find this. Meet me here." I beat him there, like, "Yo, when you coming?" "I'm coming soon." I'm like,
It's 5 minutes past soon, man.
Right. So it's just like I haven't met the mirror of my expectations to my mentor, you know, as yet. And it's funny, when I started doing real estate, my motivation was how much money I can make in X amount of time. You know, but my biggest success in real estate was how many people's lives can I change in some amount of time.
Oh wow!
So
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's not even the money; it's the lives you change within them making their first deal.
And I'm gonna tell you what makes me feel the best. Like when I'm out and people come up to me and tell me how much I've motivated them.
Right.
And I'm part of what they're doing right. I'm part of the reason why they're doing what they're doing right now. So guess what? They didn't have to come and take 2 hours of my day for me to have an impact on them. So when we all post what we post on social media, you know, people may, "Oh man, you're bragging or you're doing this." No, I'm not. I'm actually impacting somebody.
Right.
If it's not you, unfollow me. I don't care.
Just
you know what I mean?
person.
But exactly, if I touch one person, and literally this weekend, shout out to Farrah. We got to give a shout out to Farrah. Because I told her, I'm like, I don't talk to you every day. You know? She came, she was linking up with us, you know, whatever, but we were so busy, she still found her own way.
Yep.
She's on a platform right now. People know her name. She's growing, things like that. So guess what? Even though I'm not with you every single day, I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing, you know, things like that. So that makes me feel good.
yeah, for real.
I almost want to cry.
Shout out to Farrah.
It's the champagne. No, for me, it's the same thing. Nobody that actually came. And then when me and Sion connected and building, we actually decided not to do a...
But you, the two of you, both of y'all said nobody, but you guys
Got each other.
get each other. So
Yeah,
you
we
can't
have
say
each other.
nobody.
No, I'm talking about someone that's like a mentee style thing.
Right.
But people do ask us like all the time, even still to this day, they be in our inbox wanting something. So we may just do something, but we haven't yet because honestly we've been busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
And then, but that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to pull me away from my time,
Yeah.
you know, compensate me for my time. Because what you're not paying, you know, most people, it was hard for me to start charging for wholesaling. Because honestly, wholesaling is so easy. It's the fact that you're connecting a buyer to a seller. Get a contract. But it's like you're paying me for the years and years and years it took me to learn how to make it that simple. Because it's more complex than that, of course. But it took a long time and a lot of practice, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get there. Literally tears. Like you crying at the closing table that it doesn't work out.
Tears.
A cloudy title, a family member in probate. One person doesn't want to sign off.
One error. You got 10 errors and you got that one.
You got 9
You spend all your
signatures.
time with this one error. Taking
And
it
not a clear
dinner.
title.
So paying for your seller to to live whatever X amount of time that they need to before closing because they can't.
Man, listen, we're not even about to talk
And
about
did they change your mind?
Whoa.
Wait, did they change your mind?
Yes.
So how are you protected in that situation?
You're not.
You're not.
I got a seller right now ask me for $5,000 for a contract. We don't even know if the title is in their name, if they got liens on the property, what?
That's a short conversation.
Yeah. Literally, this is my conversation. This is what I said. Hey, my attorney will not allow me to give any funds without the title being ran, and there is earnest money, which is given to the attorney at their office right now.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not giving you. I'm gonna tell you. But
that's fine.
I got you.
Right now, the way the market is, you got to do different.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just do it a little different. It's okay. But before, I'll be like, "What you talking about? I can't hear you." But now, like the way the market's going, you want it all. So.
But another question for you guys. So we're gonna go 180. So
But hold on, what about you?
You asking all the questions.
what was the question? Because I was so focused on the next question. I was so focused on the next question. Right.
We started empty.
Okay, so what was the question that I asked you guys? I legit forgot.
It was
I already told you so. Yeah, my mentee, one of my coaching students.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Started off. Okay, so
I remember the
your
answer.
question.
Okay, continue.
So now, going on, I'm not drunk. Just so, when it comes to money, has anybody like family, friends asked for money or like, because now they see that, so wait, God, I already know. So, people are asking you for money because they see the success or they might have heard about from Bob or, wow, that's a different car you come in. How are you handling those situations? How are you handling those? So for us, we are each other's checks and balances because, of course, our family has our, heartstrings, violin, or stuff like that. So she reinforces me like, no, you cannot give it to her. And I say to her, no, you can't. But it's on a case by case thing, and it's really the only individuals that have us on a heartstring are the immediate family.
Yeah.
And anyone extended outside of that.
We don't lend money. We don't do that. We don't do that. That's just what we don't do.
Okay. Right, because we don't borrow money, we present opportunities.
We do investments, so yeah, we would invest in something, but we don't lend money or we're not doing that. We're just not gonna give you some. Now, if you want to come work for something, that's different. But yeah, we don't do that.
Don't respond to the text message.
You don't respond. So no, because that's such an easy. Because if they do, if they call, like how they called you up and said, it's a face.
And they got you on the phone.
Yeah, now they got you.
Nah, it's just been like a text, and just don't respond.
So no one's ever called you like, yo, Mo.
I ain't even bold enough to call Mo Hustle. I ain't even bold enough to call Mo Hustle.
No, but what happens when they send you a text and you don't respond, but then they see you in person?
You ready?
You just be like, hey.
Yeah.
I haven't had that situation, but no, like
yo, you go see me in these streets.
Right.
now because like everything that I do for the most part, unless it's celebrating somebody's birthday or like a special event, like I'm like again, I'm trying to get sleep when I can get sleep. So I'm not doing a lot of the things that I used to do, but at the same time, like I have people that I can help out with that I don't mind because I know that they're gonna give it back or whatever, but like it has no large lump sums or nothing like that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I have very few. People send me requests or they're like, oh, my child is doing this. So if I can, I will, because I was that child who's always doing sales.
Send her a cash app request.
Like somebody sent me like, hey, my daughter's in a cotillion, and I'm in a sorority, and so kind of pull on the heartstrings. So if I can, I will, but if not, I'm always closing. So I have deals. I'm sorry. Because emphasis on bought a hotel, not sold. Okay.
Right. Oh. So
Deal maker.
Yep. The deal maker.
Yeah. So it's just like we're always buying. Sorry.
So I got a huge family. Shout out to my family. I love all of y'all. But
hey, you know something's coming.
What happened was.
What had happened was.
Nah. So I'm big on family. I was raised by my mom, so the family's most important thing. So I've helped family. I've had family. Pay me back, and I've had some family that hasn't paid me back. So I just took the Steve Harvey method and
What is the Steve Harvey method?
Yeah, Steve Harvey said don't call him for, somebody call you, call him back in 2 weeks. Hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you called me a couple weeks ago. My bad, I was busy. Y'all watching this now, so I didn't answer your phone 2 weeks ago. Now you know why. Also, my wife, she's like, yo, you got to stop posting every closing. Because we used to post all the closing. And it was just to inspire other individuals. Mm-hmm. So I had to say, you know what? That makes sense.
Did that increase the calls?
Yes.
By posting?
Yeah.
So
it's on both sides of the family. Because they like, okay.
John got it.
If you make, just say, they're like, well, I know you're making at least 1,000. And they see you post 10 closings. They're like, well, you made at least 10,000. So they start trying to count the money.
Yeah.
I had to pay $9,000.
John, you know you got it.
But I think it's a good thing to let them people know we don't lend money.
Yeah, but you know why? Because when I was down and out,
you wasn't
That's what I was going to ask.
You wasn't shooting in the gym.
Did any naysayers ask for money?
What?
Like, do y'all have the people who told you not to do real estate and now they're asking?
I got so many naysayers do business with me now.
Oh, me too.
I haven't even go speak on it, but a lot of them do business with me.
Me too.
But you know what? A lot of the naysayers, they just have to see it to believe it.
Right, they became believers.
I mean? And a lot of people, they have your best interest at heart. You know what I mean? So for anybody that's out there that ever told any of us no.
Or do they?
No, like think about like a parent. Be like, oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this? Because they really want they want you to be safe.
Right.
They want you to be in a secure situation where you know you're gonna get this, X, Y, Z. But once they see you actually starting to reach your goals and accomplish goals. Hold on, guys, we got a call coming in. Hold on, let me see if I can put him on speaker.
Oh
man!
You.
Oh wait! Look at Courtney, y'all. So this
Beep.
are you getting a facial?
That boy getting a workout.
Are you getting a facial?
Getting a facial in LA Fitness.
All right, so check this out, guys. We got a call in right now. Are we zoomed in? We zoomed in on the caller. All right. So this is another one of our real estate partners, associates, investors, loan officers, access to cash lenders. So Courtney Newman. Right now we're talking. What are we talking about, Errol?
We was talking about.
Here, take the phone.
Pick my brain and.
Hold on, bro. It ain't Fresh Cut Fridays yet.
You get a whole cut, man.
It's Wednesday. It's Friday.
All right, so it's
content Wednesdays.
So we was talking about picking payment methods, like when someone comes to you and like they want to pick your brain and whatnot, and then we also asked about when people ask you for money. So question number one for you is, when it comes to people wanting to pick your brain or get at you for something, how do you handle that?
Well, it just depends. It's like you got to add value. At this point in my career, it has to be something that's going to add value to me to be able to pick my brain.
Okay.
I don't have the time to pick someone's brain, like to sit down and pick it, because my time is valuable. I have family, I have deals I'm working on, I have a job that I got to attend to. So I either say, hey, either you're going to invest money to be able to do and come in on a deal with me to pick my brain, or we'll pay a consultation hour. If you don't value my time at $99 an hour, then it's just not for me.
Okay. All right. Good. And then the second question is, when it comes to money, has anybody now like seeing you being at a different level of life? Like, are they asking you for money? Like, hey, let me get $100, or can you help me with this? How are you handling those conversations, whether it be friends or family?
Those conversations I handle because again, I have a family I have to take care of. So I say, hey, I'm not lending any money. You can come to me for advice as far as education. You can pay for the education, but at this point, I can't take from something that I value way too much. And then if I do lend money, if it comes to my heart, it's always going to be something that I'm not expecting to get back.
Okay.
So if it's something that I want to pour into someone, then it's going to be the spirit that leads me to do it instead of me lending the money.
Never lend what you can't afford to lose.
Awesome. Well, thank you for calling me,
$20,
good sir. I'm gonna pass it back to Mo.
See, no.
Oh, hold on. This is the after, guys. This is the after. He's like, oh yeah. All right, Courtney. Appreciate you calling in.
I actually appreciate you, brother. Deuces.
Did y'all hear it? One more time. Pew, pew, pew. Say one more time.
But so I didn't even answer the question. I actually have a very different answer from you guys.
Oh,
so when people ask me for money, I will lend out the money. collateral.
With collateral.
So you be taking titles.
Oh, I be taking everything. So that's why people don't ask me for money, because they know it comes with stipulations.
Right.
Oh, so you get
I enforce my stipulations. So yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit more about this.
How it works, right? How does that work?
Contract, you have a contract.
Oh yeah, contract, drafted by trade, everything. Whether it be, if it's anything south of $100, you are going to be playing this game. I'm gonna have this on paper. I'm gonna have some collateral to you. You're gonna be like, I don't even feel comfortable.
You don't even want to sign.
If you feel uncomfortable doing it, you wasn't gonna give me back the money in the first place.
Right.
Because why you feel uncomfortable? I thought you were so sure in that.
Right.
I thought you really you said you had on another episode. My phone went out, but you got the money from someone because you was confident you was gonna get it back by doing this real estate stuff.
Pay them back with interest.
Why aren't you as confident right now in this same $1,000 loan?
And then on top of that, if you're borrowing money is per day, right? So how much interest are you paying back when you pay the money back? Because I know when I borrowed the cell phone money, I gave back with interest on top of interest because I wanted to let them know that how appreciated that I was for them to have invested that, at the time, $40 in me.
No, that's
So they gave me 40, I gave them 100.
So
See,
I got a flat fee.
Everybody.
that's like.
But that's the reflection of the individual.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a flat fee on my stuff, and then after whatever the promise date is, $50 day late fee.
Oh wow.
And I enforce that. But yeah, I treat it like a bank, man. Like bank. If you ask the bank for a loan, what they gonna do? They're gonna want to see everything about you on paper. So if I'm gonna do the same thing, I need to know everything. I'm gonna do credit checks.
It's coming. You know, something software. You can do background checks.
This time next year, Errol will be like, well,
Right.
back then I wasn't, but now.
Hey, today
that
that was yesterday's loan process.
So now we are at my favorite part of the show, a segment we like to call I Ain't Gonna Lie, where we pick a question and we get a couple less than a minute.
you gotta pick your own.
Yeah.
She like that one. She like that one. That was an easy one.
You can't look.
Hey, let me get that question mode, guys.
Right. This looked like it was easy. You get the same one? Did you get the same one?
You gotta put the hat on too. You gotta throw the hat on when you get this out.
Is this a question for me?
Yep.
Like, am I this? Okay. So it says specialist or jack of all trades and why?
Oh, that
I
one.
ain't even gonna lie.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna say jack of all trades. And the reason I say that is because I'm always learning. So someone just told me, I told someone not too long ago, I'm like, you're an expert in this. This is what you do. That's not what I do. He said, if I was an expert, then I would know all. Right? So because we're always learning, I'm just a jack of all trades.
Okay, boss, ain't gonna throw it. Throw it in.
Dang, I still miss.
Am I using my time wisely or am I wasting my time? I ain't gonna lie. Now I am taking time to balance because I go so hard. I did unfortunately get COVID. And that is like, I was going on this train, like I was traveling. And bam, it stopped me from everything. And just before I got COVID, my cousin asked me, she was like, yeah, your accolades is how you are, where you are in real estate, but who are you outside of that? And when she asked me that, and then I got sick with COVID, so as I'm in the hospital, I was literally sitting there. Nobody knew anything about real estate. They didn't know anything about the hotel. They didn't know anything about the articles and all of that. It was sitting there, Jessica. And it really brought to my attention, like, who are you and what are you doing with your time? And then that's when I got clear on impact. That's when I got clear on, it's almost just like,
purpose.
Yeah, it's like I'm the underdog right now, like, cool. But you just watch my next move, you're going to be like, and she got a hotel.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Next move about to be the best move.
Like, even where you guys are right now, do you guys question, like, knowing who you really are?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
Because I just asked myself that 2 nights ago. I was like,
who are you really?
do I really know who I am?
Outside of your profession, all the other commitments.
Outside of everything, who are you as an individual?
Because if anything, COVID kind of brought that to the forefront. Like, who are you? Who are you outside of this? And I love it.
I like that.
Now that's dope, and I just want to chime in real quick because from the outside looking in, people look and they think like, oh, they got it all together and all this and all that. And for you to even like be at this point in your life and question yourself about some things, you know, that are internal, you know, that's hey, it's life.
You ain't even gonna lie.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay, so my question is, fake it till you make it, but how far do you take it?
Ooh.
I ain't even gonna lie, I'm gonna take that thing.
To the wheels fall off.
Yeah, till it's over. I'm not stopping. If I have to keep faking it, I'm gonna fake it. Like, I faked it for a long time. I still fake some things. Like, I'm gonna still fake it till I want to be where I want to be at. And I feel like as long as you are doing exactly what you want to do, as long as you're doing exactly what you want to do, then you should be good. And it shouldn't matter that you actually faked it, because eventually one day you're gonna be where you're talking about going.
Mm-hmm. Are you faking it, or are you assuming the role that you want?
Okay, that's another thing to say. That's another way to look at it, because actually you are really putting it in your mind, because honestly, one of the things you learn about mental with the law of attraction, you put out there what it is you want, and you believe it. Because you can't tell me that I ain't a billionaire. I believe it. I feel it. I see it every day. I got stuff in front of me every day. You can't tell me. Like, sometimes my friends, they be asking me, what are your goals? I'm like, yeah, I plan on making at least 2 more million by the end of the year. They like, what?
2 more.
Like, that's
and that's just me talking.
It's a vibration.
I'm just saying, you have to keep putting stuff out there and keep seeing stuff. And if you want to say it's called faking it till you make it, keep on faking it.
But there, we discussed at the beginning of the episode that there are certain people that have it and that don't. And I feel like there's a level, especially in Atlanta, like people come to Atlanta from all over for the black excellence that they see here. But there are some people, like you said, you would have been paid them $5,000 for a mastermind. And what can they really teach you, because they faking it?
Right.
You know,
see, that's a different type of fake, because I wouldn't fake something. I personally wouldn't go out and teach an Airbnb class, because I've never personally did. Sion did Airbnbs. I don't do Airbnbs, so you would never see me talking about, yeah, come take my course for Airbnb. I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna fake that. I'm gonna fake something I know I'm already doing, and I'm gonna fake it in my mind. Really, I ain't faking it for you. I'm faking it for my mind, for me to build and keep going up to where I want to be. So I'm psyching myself.
Right. And the fake is not a fake. The fake is a level.
Yeah, it's a level up.
It's a mindset shift.
Even one time, Sion and I, we was reading some book, I was watching the podcast or something. One of the homework things they gave us was to start putting yourself in places of people that you want to be around, like surrounding yourself by, you know, a certain type of people. So if you know you want to be around millionaires and business owners, where you going out to eat at? Put yourself in a position where you could be sitting next to one of them. So go over there, talk to them. And when me and Sion get in the room, everybody love us. Like, together, we are so powerful. Like, separately, we be cool, we doing our thing, but together, we go to any...
I'm a movement by myself.
Whatever. We go together, like, no matter which type of crowd we're in, whether it's whites, blacks, Asians, rich, poor, won't be around poor people, but anybody, like, you know, above a level. Like, we got friends that's making, like, we got friends, like, all different type of friends, and they all love us because we just bring this energy, and we putting ourselves in places and positions that you would never be in if you went to this place instead of going to McDonald's. Like, if you went to, I'm just gonna say Chops. That's not even the top of the line. But if you went to Chops, everybody might be familiar with that, for lunch instead of going to Applebee's. That's a different type of person. You talking to 2 different people at the bar. You start spitting stuff about real estate. They love real estate. They gonna be, so what now? Invest in what? Okay. How much? That's a whole other thing you can do, like putting yourself in different. Go horseback riding. See who you're gonna be. Like, don't go to Andretti's. Right. Go do something else that people are doing. That's doing something different and maybe a little bit, you know, above. I don't want to say above, but leveling up from where you're from. But that's kind of part of faking it until you make it.
You have to position yourself amongst the people that you strive to be.
Exactly.
And kind of like when I got started, there was only one RIA group, right? I was in Georgia RIA every day. What happened? Somebody approached me with opportunity, and I was able to make something out of the opportunity, because it wasn't technically faking it till I made it, but it was letting them know that, okay, you putting this opportunity in front of me, I'm going to show you that I can do it. That was my way.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yes, sir. What is the most valuable skill you need to have? Does it need to come natural to you? Well, I ain't gonna lie. First, I gotta start off with what does skill mean to you. You know, most people think a skill is a physical attribute that you put out there. You know, the person who made this had a skill to put that together. We're entrepreneurs. Our skills are intangible.
Exactly.
You know, so for me, my best skill is my sincerity. You know, so real estate and all the other businesses.
Oh, that's my baby.
She blushing.
Real estate and all these other businesses is just a byproduct of who I am. You know, like investors invest with us because I'm sincere about what I'm doing. I'm not gonna fail.
Yeah.
You know, and even if I fail, I'm not gonna let you fail. You know, I'm gonna take the L.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, sincerity, man. Sincerity, I like that. Was they kind of get on this side?
You didn't hold on this
Totally missed the last one. She's like, happening.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie to none of y'all. How do I jump out of fear and into the deal? See, I'm a different type of individual when it comes to fear. I'm fearless. Like a lot of people tell me that I have a unbelievable faith, because I just believe that I'm destined to be great. However, you know, even getting started into the business, even to now where I'm going with the business. So I just have an unbelievable faith, and I just know that I'm destined for greatness. Always have been.
And then you do what your shirt says.
And I do what my shirt says. I kill them with grinders. Plug by more hustle. So y'all see, jack of all trades. He just plugged again. Right?
Marketing expert as well.
Marketing. Y'all see it. Everybody eats. Okay, your turn.
Oh, no, that's the other one. So we should answer this one, though. I like that question. Okay. But so, what makes a person an entrepreneur, and what is it? So I would. So that was that's a good one. That's a good one. You should have had that one. All right. So what makes a person an entrepreneur? I would say their problem-solving ability. That's what I believe in entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, it's a person who gets paid to solve problems. So that's what I would say for that.
Because you're creating that out of whatever you had. Like you could just walk into a space and create and solve somebody's problem. Yeah. That's an entrepreneur because you get paid for that.
If you cut hair and you go say, you know what, I'm gonna open a building so that everybody that needs a haircut can come in here and I can service them with this, you're
entrepreneur.
The solution to somebody's problem.
And you're an entrepreneur.
And you said a key word. You said create. And that's always the biggest thing, because growing up, you know, knowing that go to college, get a great job, and I found myself in media, the biggest thing is to get to New York. So at 22, I'm working at CBS in New York at the Nick Cannon Morning Show. And to me, I made success, right? But I wasn't creating the life that I wanted, and desire was very hollow. And then that's when my dad was like, well, you climb so quickly up that corporate ladder, but what if the ladder's on the wrong wall? And that's when I was just like,
shout out to Pop!
So what if that ladder's on the wrong wall?
Hey, and all of us have been on the wrong ladder. Everybody has been on the wrong ladder. Everybody.
You get to the top, you're like, oh shit.
This ain't it.
Papa Myers knows that.
This ain't it. Let me jump on.
But as I started looking like, okay, I got my ladder. What wall am I going to put it against? Nothing else could. Like, I did not see. I'm not a good employee. I was sleeping till 10. I don't like I want my time. I take long lunches. No, I can't do this. Yeah. So that's how I realized you have to build the table. Like, I have to create my next opportunity. Like, I can't leave myself to circumstance and be like, wow, I got the 5-year plaque and then I'll get my 20-year plaque. But it's just like, no, I want who is living the life that I wouldn't mind switching seats with, as you said.
Yep.
Hey,
like,
you know what's funny?
Who is in that place?
One of my homeboys, right, that I used to work with, this is so funny. Every Friday, he would come back from lunch about 30 minutes to an hour before we were about to get off. We get off at like 4.
Oh, from lunch?
Yes. But we do it every Friday.
Do that.
Just
flame on Friday. Flame on Friday.
He like, my lunch, like, I'm gonna take however long I want. This dude be gone for lunch for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's Friday. It's Friday. What y'all gonna say?
Right.
That's the thing. And then you realize, like, look, I got to create my next opportunity because I can no longer be the victim to my circumstance. And that's really what you were speaking of when we were talking about why don't people get the fortitude to get up? They become a victim to their circumstance. And you will always, circumstances will not stop. Has any of y'all's situations stopped now to being an entrepreneur?
No. It got the problems get bigger.
Yes.
More money, more problems.
Because I heard Diddy one time say that he dealt with a $30 million loss. I'm like, we trying to conceptualize millions. He got a $30 million loss. But what's it to be? How much money did he have to have that was like, cool, I recovered. And so it's like life doesn't stop lifing, but we just have to rise above the circumstances.
Life don't stop lifing. I like that.
Yeah.
And what's big about that, or what's big about all of this, like at the end of the day, we're giving out information and we're dropping so many gems. So it's up to you to be the entrepreneur and create from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you take what we're giving out and use that to your advantage? Because you're the one person, you're the person watching. You're the reason why we're doing this.
Yeah. Any last words? I mean, I think we said a mouthpiece to
Man.
That was it. Like that was like the closing statement.
All right, Steve Harvey.
Right.
I'll take it. What else, Steve?
Hey. Let's say your net is your net worth. And I mean, I'm just so grateful to be surrounded by y'all.
Man, this is dope.
I mean, this is just amazing to have these intelligent conversations talking about real estate and beyond.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of All Things Entrepreneur. You just got 8. Team, tell them how to find you. Hit me up on Instagram at It's Jessica Myers.
I am Superstar Shauna with
DC on John.
and together we are Flippin' Love.
You can follow me on Instagram at mohustle_810.
You can follow me at The Real Grind Guy on Instagram.
You can find me on all social media outlets at LJ Allen.
Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel at 8.experience.
You graduated to a boss and they didn't pass. Ain't no such thing as losses, only lessons. Break bread, don't block your blessings. Get the money, but you know what's even more precious? Time. Nah, don't talk about it, go do it.